Hi guys, today we are talking about some of my favourite colours and favourite mixes from the Schmincke range. So last video we swatched out the dot cards, and in this video I just wanted to kind of go through and show you if I was going to create a Schmincke palette, what my favourites would be, and I'm actually and some of my favourite mixes as well from the range. So every time after I do the dot cards, I actually feel like I want to kind of create a little palette from that range. So I really liked some of the Winsor & Newton ones and also some of these ones. I also want to give you options where, you know, Daniel Smith is local to in America, and Schmincke is more local in Europe. So I want to give you options of colours that I might be using that you could substitute in your palette. So I'm going to swatch them around the page the same way we did in the pastel video for the La Maison pastels, and I just really enjoy this. So you can use this technique in a art journal or just in your journal if you want to swatch some colours and play with some colours and then just write in the middle of them. Or you could stick photos or, you know, any other ephemera that you have. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run you through these from the top. So it's lemon yellow, May green, green earth. Then we have cobalt green dark, the chromium brilliant green, cobalt green, cobalt turquoise, Cobalt Azure, cobalt blue deep, and now we're up to the indigo. So from here we have 5 of my favorite colors. So anthracite, which is kind of a really nice soft black. It's got it's a really pretty color. Just kind of got a slight tinge to it of something. But then we have the sepia brown reddish, which I really love, and then the neutral tint. So I feel like with the neutral tint, if they had called it like fog or, you know, London fog or purple moors or something, that it would get a little bit more traction. I feel like it's a really beautiful color, and I initially picked Shadow Violet over it, but I actually think that I prefer this over Shadow Violet, and I think I just picked the Daniel Smith one just for the name. I don't know if it's because when you a tint is a color mixed with white, but then you also have the tinting strength, and then how do you neutralize a color? When you're first starting out with watercolor, it's all overwhelming, and so it seems like a very technical name, but it didn't quite make sense to me, so I just stayed away from it. But if you think of it as just a really beautiful muted kind of eggplant purple color, it is a really lovely color. So then we moved up the row with the Perylene Violet, Potter's Pink, Permanent Carmine, Rose Madder, Ochre Rose, and then we flipped over to next to the lemon yellow with the gold, silver, Saturn Red, and the Quinacridone Red Light, which I think is a lot like the Daniel Smith Quin Coral. So what I'm doing in the middle here, which I've really been enjoying, is just sketching out the Schmincke logo. So this is not a finished piece of work, it's just supposed to be a quick sketch and kind of a colour study, just to try and familiarise yourself with some of their colours. So I really enjoyed doing this for the La Maison dragon crest, and then doing it with this one. So I'm starting out with the green earth. It's a colour that I am interested in, and I wanted to paint with it a little bit more. So I kind of was thinking, should I go with like a pink for the ribbon or a violet or something, or a blue, but I decided on this one just because I wanted to paint with it more. So I popped down the green earth. I added some touches of the May green for vibrancy, and then I started with the Perylene Violet on the actual owl. And I also add some of the sepia brown reddish and some of the transparent sienna. So I'm also using the Escoda Reserva number 6 brush, which is linked under the video, and generally I try and put the links under the video. Let me know if I forget anything. So basically you can see here I'm just kind of doing a quick loose sketch with the colours, and then I'm going to go back in with my nib pen and my Winsor & Newton gold ink. So again, they're linked under the video, and that is what I just like to do when I'm doing something like this where I don't want to wait for the paint to dry and then add another glaze. The ink work sort of becomes that extra layer and the finishing touches. So I'm just going to take my dip pen here and use that to go around some of the outlines. Now, I know some of you have had questions about this, so I'm hoping to get a video up in a week or two that explains a little bit more about this ink and how to get the ink working or the dip pen working if you're having any problems. But I do have a video up already on Heirloom Luxe which might be helpful, so I will link you to that below, and I will just try and do another video with a bit more information on this channel fairly soon. Okay, so I also wanted to say here a huge thank you for everyone who has been supporting this shop. So it's the Heirloom Luxe shop on Etsy, and with buying the alphabet printables and everything like that. I really appreciate it. And so I do have the printables of my alphabet, my sort of hand lettering calligraphy in my shop, and that's how I write, so you can just go over those letters and learn the strokes. Okay, so we have finished the page here, and I think I just went in and added the names in pencil. And you can see that at some point I had a little problem with the Quin Red Light, and it just went on the page there, and it was staining. I couldn't get it off. I could not lift it, so I just basically decided to leave it there and just keep working over it and add some extra color swatches. And then I decided it wasn't quite jumping off the page enough, so I went in with some shadows. So I've used the Perylene Violet for some of the shadows, and then the neutral tint for some. So I forgot to mention as well that this is the Apica notebook. I have a whole video, a few videos back about the Chic Sparrow Travels notebook that I am working in here. So it goes through the setup and we look at the notebooks and their papers inside it. And this is not a sketchbook per se, but it is a book that I've been using for a few years. This is my third one, and I just sort of get one every year and use it for swatches and sketches and just to try things. So I have just been really enjoying using it and putting a few little things in there. It feels very relaxed and, you know, very easy to organize and use. Okay, so I did show you these swatches in that video, and I just wanted to kind of go over some of my favorite mixes and things. So the swatches here on the right, we had, you can see it's sort of a palette like this, and I am thinking about creating a palette that's kind of feeling or reminiscent like the old masters colors. So it's not going to be historically accurate, and you can see there that I will probably be including the Schmincke silver in it as well, because I always just like to have the pearl white, but I want sort of a palette. I feel like that within these colors are contained some really moving paintings. So I want to, you know, curate a palette. It's still going to take me a couple of months, I think so, but that's something I'm working on, and I will show that, you know, to you and share that with you when I'm finished. So here we have the neutrals that I really love from this range. They are, especially, I love the Mahogany Brown. It's a really gorgeous one. The color separation that comes from it is just, it's subtle, but it's just really beautiful. And so here we have some of my favorite mixes. So I don't think I actually showed you me mixing them. I think I just mixed them on the paper here, but we have some colors mixed with the gold, the Schmincke gold, with the white and the Ochre rose and the Naples Yellow Red, and the gold I really love. And then this Cobalt hue and the gold I really love. The Potter's pink and the silver, and then the Venetian red, English Venetian red and the silver was gorgeous as well as the Carbazole violet and the silver. But I think that any of their colors, like some of the other blues, would be really beautiful with that. So it's kind of reminds me like of a circus colors, or, you know, that kind of really magical experience. So that's all for today. I will hopefully have another video up for you tomorrow or Saturday, and I will see you soon. Bye.